Welcome, dear learner. Today, you begin a slow and thoughtful journey into the deep past of a vast land. This is part one of the history of Russia, written in clear and simple English for learners. This story does not focus on one person, one hero, or one ruler. Instead, it follows land, time, nature, and gradual change. It begins quietly, with forests, rivers, and early communities. Read slowly, stay calm, and allow curiosity to guide you as history opens step by step. Long before the name Russia existed, the land was wide and mostly untouched. Thick forests covered large areas, and open plains stretched far into the distance. Long rivers flowed gently across the land, connecting places that did not yet have names. Winters were long, cold, and harsh. Summers were short but full of light and growth. These natural conditions shaped every part of life. Nature was powerful, and survival depended on understanding its rhythm. Early communities settled near rivers because rivers meant life. Rivers provided water, fish, and rich soil. They also made travel easier. Walking through forests or frozen ground was slow and dangerous, but boats could move people and goods more safely. Because of this, small settlements appeared along riverbanks. These settlements were not cities. They were groups of wooden homes built close together for warmth, safety, and cooperation. Life in these early settlements was simple but demanding. Homes were made from wood, clay, and natural materials. Tools were basic and created by hand. Daily life followed the seasons closely. In spring and summer, people farmed small areas of land, hunted animals, and gathered food from forests. In autumn, food was stored carefully. In winter, survival depended on preparation, patience, and shared effort. Cooperation was necessary for survival. Families worked together and supported each other. Hunting, farming, building, and repairing homes were group activities. No one could survive alone for long in such conditions. Trust, shared work, and responsibility became strong values. These early habits created a deep sense of community that influenced the land for many generations. Slowly, paths formed between settlements. At first, these paths were simple trails used to visit nearby groups. Over time, these trails became trade routes. Traders moved along rivers and land paths, carrying goods such as fur, honey, tools, and food. Trade helped settlements grow stronger and more connected. Goods were exchanged, but ideas also traveled along these routes. As trade increased, communication improved. Different groups began to understand each other better. Shared customs slowly developed. Simple rules appeared to manage trade, land use, and conflict. Early leadership systems formed, not to rule with force, but to organize work and protect resources. Leaders were chosen for experience, wisdom, and fairness rather than power. One major change came through contact with southern regions. New beliefs entered the land through trade and cultural exchange. These beliefs brought religion, writing, and education. Shared beliefs helped unite different communities under common values. Wooden churches were built and became centers of village life. Religious traditions and festivals created a shared sense of belonging. Writing changed life deeply. Laws, agreements, and stories could now be recorded. Knowledge no longer depended only on memory. Writing helped preserve history, culture, and tradition. A shared written language slowly connected distant regions. This strengthened unity and allowed ideas to travel farther and last longer. Culture developed quietly but strongly. Songs, stories, symbols, and art were passed from generation to generation. These traditions helped communities remember their past and understand their place in the world. Even during hard times, culture gave meaning and emotional strength. It helped people endure difficult seasons and uncertain futures. As settlements grew, some towns became more important than others. Towns near major rivers controlled trade and movement. Markets appeared, bringing people from many regions together. Goods, news, and ideas were exchanged. These towns built walls for protection and stored supplies for difficult times. Slowly, they gained influence over surrounding areas. A network of towns began to form. These towns were connected by trade, belief, and shared interests. This network created an early political structure. It was not yet a powerful state, but it was a foundation. Decisions made in one place could affect many others. Unity was growing, but it was still fragile. This growing stability faced a sudden and violent challenge. Powerful forces arrived from the east. These invaders were organized, fast, and skilled in warfare. Cities were destroyed, villages burned, and trade routes taken under control. Fear spread quickly across the land. Life changed deeply and painfully. Many towns were forced to pay heavy taxes and accept strict control. Independence was lost, and progress slowed. Resources were taken away, and development stopped. Daily life became harder, and uncertainty filled the future. This period lasted many years and left deep marks on society. Despite this hardship, culture did not disappear. Traditions were protected inside homes, religious spaces, and local customs. Writing, belief, and language survived. Communities adapted instead of surrendering. Survival itself became a form of quiet resistance. Important lessons were learned during this time. Local leaders learned to manage resources carefully. Cooperation between regions became essential. Open conflict was often impossible, so patience and planning became tools for survival. Strength grew slowly, shaped by endurance rather than force. One settlement slowly gained importance during this difficult era. Its location near key rivers and trade routes made it a natural center for communication and organization. While other towns weakened, this settlement grew stronger. It became a place where decisions were made and alliances formed. This center helped organize surrounding lands. Trade routes were protected, and defense became more coordinated. Over time, its influence expanded. It did not rise quickly, but steadily. Step by step, unity increased. As this center grew stronger, outside control began to weaken. Pressure from the east slowly declined. Independence did not return suddenly. It returned through patience, planning, and shared effort. The land slowly regained control over its future. Rebuilding followed. Cities were repaired, markets reopened, and trade routes revived. Communication improved across regions. Borders expanded carefully. A stronger political structure formed, allowing better control of land and resources. Nature continued to shape life. Long winters demanded preparation and discipline. Large distances required organization and patience. These conditions influenced values such as endurance, order, and respect for structure. Stability became more important than comfort. By the end of this early period, the land had changed deeply. What began as scattered river settlements had become a united territory with shared identity, belief, and direction. Hardship had created resilience. Survival had shaped culture. This was only the beginning. The foundations were now set for expansion, strong authority, and major transformation. The land was ready to move into a new stage of history. This completes part 1 of the story. In part 2, the journey will continue with expansion, power, conflict, and the path toward the modern world. Stay calm, stay curious, and keep learning, because history, like language, grows slowly, step by step,